Hi, Mike Kennedy here with you in the rain, the very rain. This smart car has a convertible roof, so it really makes the rain sound loud. But what I want to show you is something I picked up from RadioShack, a Multitool for $10. RadioShack's basically going out of business. The stores are all closing. So, you know, as I get closer to the end of when they're closing, the prices go down. So it's kind of like a game. You go in there, see if they still have what you want, and see if the prices come down. They had several of these, but so $20 regular, 10. A lot of people are going to tell me it can't be any good even at $20. I think this seems pretty rugged. It's got you know, your typical pliers. And it's got the nice kind of knurled area there. It's got wire cutters, wire strippers. We're going to try each one of these in another videos to see how they work. What's nice about this is it has both a saw, which almost I'm going to cut myself on that already. That's pretty sharp. And it has a serrated blade too. Two different purposes. Then it has a file. It has the you know, of course it has a regular blade. I'll put that saw blade in so I don't cut myself on it. The saw blade. And it has, you know, the typical mandatory screwdrivers. It's got a small and a wider flathead. And on the other side there's a Phillips. What this has too is combination, they call this a combination hook remover and can opener, and you can see on this side that it's beveled and sharp. So it's all stainless steel, made in China. But it seems to be really, really rugged. These has some foam on the handle grips. I don't know how long that part will last, we'll see. But I'm just kind of impressed with the quality of it for, like I say, $10. Like I say, and it came with this, which I'm happen to be wearing now, so I'm not going to take it off, but it came with this little kind of reddish pouch that says RadioShack on the top, so you can wear it on your belt all the time type of thing. But I'm overall impressed with this. Now normally when you were going to use something like the saw, you would fold this back like this and use it like this. Okay. So there it is, the RadioShack $10 Multitool. And you know, I've got the Gerber clutch, which is about half this size, which is more of a pocket carry type thing for very small things. So it's more of a, what you would say, more of an urban thing to fix little things or cut little things and stuff like that. Where this one gets more to, say, more into the suburban use and thinking about doing some more serious things with it, maybe with some bushcraft things, having the knife and the saw and things. And we'll try it with a ferro rod, starting a fire and things like that. But I want to particularly try the wire strippers. I don't know how many people ever strip wires, but I'm going to explain that because most wire strippers come gauged. In other words, you know the gauge of your wire, you put it in, and you strip the wire off. Well, this doesn't have a gauge. This says one size fits all, which means you have to control how much you press down. Otherwise, on a thick wire, you'll actually bite into the wire and be pulling some of the wire off, which you don't want to do, because if you have a thick wire and then you turn it into a thin wire, that creates an area of high resistance, and you don't want to do that. Okay? So it's very important that you only strip off the plastic coating. So we're going to show you how to do that. So cut strips, the pliers here for turning something, and the pliers for gripping. You know, when I was working with photographic printers, I found that having a pair of pliers was invaluable, because what would happen with these things, a piece of paper would jam up. and you had to pull it out of there. Well, you couldn't kind of get it with your hands very well, and sometimes it was in an odd place. But it always seemed like a tool like this, you could grab it and pull it out. The way these are scored allows it to grip something really well. So that's a big bonus. And of course, being stainless steel means that it's basically not going to rust. You can have, I'm not saying you want to abuse it, but you can have it around wet environments. You can have it more with salt water. You're still going to have to take care of it with that. But what I'm saying is, unlike high carbon steel, this isn't going to rust, and it's going to hold its edge longer. But then if it loses an edge on one of the blades, it's a little harder to sharpen, but we'll do something on that later as the need arises. But a multi-tool for only $10. How could you go wrong? And we'll do some different things with it. I'm interested in testing out the flat blade screwdrivers and the Phillips, because often I find on tools like this that they're not pointed enough, okay? And it actually makes it difficult sometimes to get, if you get a Phillips screw that you have to remove, say, and it's not tight, it is tight, I mean, it kind of slips rather than fitting in there tightly. And that's why they have different size Phillips heads too. But in the flatheads seemed a little rounded too. So we're going to test those and see too. Now, of course, that would be a fairly simple fix if I decided to, well, this one doesn't look so rounded. If I decided I wanted to make that flatter. Okay. But I'm impressed. It seems to be nice and rugged. It's got a nice spring on it. Definitely a more of a suburban type tool where you can do a lot of other things with it, rather than the Gerber clutch is quite small and will be more reserved to doing small tasks. This, I'm sure we can start, we can do a feather stick to start a fire. The saw is small, but it's still going to be useful for things, so we're going to try some things with it and see what we can get out of it. But there we go. $10. Maybe you can get one for $5. Check your local RadioShack if is one still around anywhere, and see what the prices are. And the store we have now in Portland in the Pine Tree Shopping Center on Brighton Avenue, they just got their first really big markdown. So I assume that they're probably they tend to close at the end of a month, so either this month or next month they'll have another dramatic price reduction, and depending on what's left, there'll be things there. It's too bad that RadioShack is closing, because there's then it's like if you need a resistor or a LED or a little connector for your ham radio things, you can't go there anymore. That was kind of a go-to place for many people. But luckily we have, in our city of Portland, we have H&R distributors, which will have most of those things. But for most people, RadioShack was the only place that they could get something locally, electrical parts, or maybe a circuit board or something that they want to try something on. It's too bad that RadioShack is gone, but gee, I worked for Kodak, and the sleeping giant, this huge, astronomically sized company, and basically didn't see what was happening in the market. They're basically gone. Kodak's basically gone. The film has gone out as Kodak Alaris, I think it's called, but it's hard for me to believe in some ways that RadioShack, with all the gadgets that we're into now, would be a company that fails. But I have to admit that most of their items were considerably higher price than the same items in another store. Like I went in there looking for a memory card, thinking, oh, this was before this last markdown. They're 40% off now, and that's still kind of a lot. I could still buy that, a 32 gigabyte micro card for less than what they're selling them for. Now the question is, are those better qualities or not? Now, if you know it's a brand name, you might be able to look that up. But if it's a private label thing, I mean, this was made in China. So the only way we can test the quality of this is use it. It didn't say on it that it was, private label made by Gerber or Leatherman, and it has the RadioShack name on it. So, that's kind of, when you get a RadioShack brand, you're not really sure what it's about. Where they have some standard brands there where you can look up things and find out about them. Of course, me, when I'm looking into cameras and things, I was looking at some of the action cameras, and they're still a little pricey. So we'll see. But there you go. Reviews coming up. Show you how to strip the wires, cut wires. We'll saw some things. We'll see if the can opener works on a modern can or not. And we'll especially like to see the Phillips and the other screwdrivers in action. And I'll show you how much better a serrated blade is for like cutting cord than a flat blade, okay? That's the thing sometimes people don't realize. Some people are very anti-serrated blade, and they say, especially if they're in woodworking, because serrated doesn't work well with wood. But serrated excels. Say if I was trapped in a car and I needed to cut a seatbelt, the serrated blade makes short work of it. So we'll cut some different cord, and we'll show you the difference with the amount of pressure I have to apply a serrated blade versus a straight blade too. So hopefully that will be of some interest. I hope you can hear me through all the rain. Okay, Mike Kennedy, Sam, I guess be prepared. Have something with you in case something goes wrong. I mean, this is a tool you can use in everyday use. Something rattles off the car, or just something, a screw comes out of something. That happens a lot of times. The pliers. Like I say, I found the pliers to be valuable for certain different things myself. And we'll do some things with them and see how this performs. And I won't be comparing it to an expensive Leatherman because I don't have an expensive Leatherman. This is frugal survival, remember? Okay, bye.